Is it going to come tomorrow? Is it going to come next week? No, the time for justice, the time for freedom, and the time for equality is always right now.
You're listening to another Perspective Talk Show.
Hello. This is Sam, a.k.a. Lucy Bones.
This show is brought to you by Rebirth Radio.
Something said, something done. Within the community, tension feeds into the stereotype, feeds into the prejudice.
Shadow. Radio.
I think more community involvement could be beneficial in teaching people about budgeting, income, and how to save, and multiple streams of income. And
you're listening to another Perspective Talk Show.
Hello. This is Sam, Lucy Bones, contributor to Rebirth Magazine and now Rebirth Radio's Dear Black People. I will be joined today by Mr. James Whitfield, who is my interviewee. He is a member of the Black community, a felon, a veteran, a business owner, and almost mayor. He has a huge list of accomplishments that has turned the community, society, and challenges on its head. So without further ado, I am going to patch him in. Mr. Whitfield, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you turn the volume down from the show?
Okay, I just turned off my computer. So now can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Mr. Whitfield, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me there, Lucy. Appreciate it.
You're very, very welcome. Now, I know you have a whole slew of accomplishments, and you know, the topic today is reentry challenges and successes, because I know for a lot of people, they don't see the outcomes that you do.
Right. Well,
so can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, your experiences, and how you did it?
Oh, wow. Now you're putting me on the spot. But okay, let me just open up and say that it wasn't easy that led me down the path that I took. When I got out of prison, I left out of prison after 22 and a half years. I left out with a paralegal degree and a business background, a strong business background. And I applied at every law firm and company and legal department and got turned down by every last one.
Wow.
And after that, you know, I found some little menial jobs, but hey, I was working. But those didn't last long either. And unfortunately, somewhere along the way, 5 years after I was out, I suffered a minor stroke. And it was after the stroke that I had to rechannel my energies and learn something new, so I learned filmmaking. And I had the opportunity to take part in a documentary program, so I created a documentary film, one of many. After the documentary film, I created an organization called Ex-Offenders Resource Network, and that is an ex-offender resource created nonprofit organization to help other ex-offenders, not only here in Minnesota, but it went nationwide and it went global. It is recognized in more than 200 countries around the world.
Wow, man. How did you do that?
I'm still trying to figure that matrix out. I'm guessing that there was a big need for it. I networked with an organization out of London, England, called No Offense, and from there they spread the word and had everyone follow what I was doing with Ex-Offenders Resource Network, and before you know it, 11 months after the start of the nonprofit and the launch of the website, we were recognized in 202 countries around the world.
Wow, that's amazing. And I understand that from previous conversations you and I have had that they wanted to use your plan, your model for helping others and helping ex-offenders as a footprint for other programs globally.
Yes, and I was okay with that. In fact, I was working with an organization called the Hope Reentry Network out of Washington, D.C., ran by Corwin Knight, the Targeted Restart Program up in Marquette, Michigan, with Elaine Eagle, and with Miss Sue Clifford in London, England. And so we sat down and talked about creating our own version of the United Nations, and that we call the International Coalition for Reentry Affairs. And so, hello?
Yes. I'm just surprised that do ex-offenders, are they aware that these coalitions and organizations exist, or are they being given this information?
Yes,
or do they have
as
to
a matter
find
of fact,
themselves?
No. The interesting thing is that Ex-Offenders Resource Network and its information is listed in every prisoner reentry handbook across the United States.
That is an amazing feat.
Yes, I was like, whoa. At times I get calls from guys up in Bangor, Maine, or way down in Tallahassee, Florida, or in Portland, Oregon, and say, hey, man, I just got out of prison, and my probation officer told me to give you a call to see if you can help me find a job or other resources. And so that's what we do.
Now, I remember a conversation we had about Judge James Dean in northern Minnesota. Do you want to elaborate on that and share a little bit about that huge feat?
Okay. In April of 2016, myself, James Whitfield, Judge James Dean, and Mr. Mike Feerick of Allison Technologies Incorporated, based in Galway, Ireland, we had a conversation about an alternative program to sentencing, whereas it would give the judge an opportunity here in Minnesota to start here with the pilot program that instead of sentencing a person to prison, they would sentence them to complete the educational program it offers through Allison Technology and Ex-Offenders Resource Network.
Okay, and I understand that he was running the pilot?
Yes, he was running the pilot. Judge James Dean was the president of the Judges College. So all judges, state and federal, he taught and updated on the laws.
That's huge.
Right. I met
That's
Judge
huge.
James Dean. I met Judge James Dean in 2008 when I became a member of the Towards Zero Death Coalition, where we help to take drunk drivers off the road.
Wow. So you've been really active in a number of different arenas, not only the reentry arena. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about some of your other experiences?
Okay, well, can you be a little bit more specific there, Lucy?
Well, since the Reentry and Ex-Offenders Resource Network, I understand you've gone on to do and accomplish and attempt many other things, not only in the community but in your personal life, as far as career and professional direction. Okay.
Well, let me just start. Let me back up to about 2008. In 2008, at that time, I was sitting at work and an idea came to me to start an internet music and video streaming service. which is called 21st Century Media LLC. It is a streaming service that we developed back in myself along with a former correctional officer named Deborah Helmbrick. We developed this here streaming service where you can deliver music, movies, and videos, just as they're streaming now, except for some people say we were ahead of our time. And from there, I went on to launch my legal research firm, which was J. Whit Legal Research. And I did that for a number of years and got burnt out doing law. Afterwards, I launched a business planning and consulting service, and that was Whitfield Consulting LLC. And there I would meet with individuals, both non-felons and felons, who wanted to start a business, and I would walk them through every step and every phase of starting a business for themselves. You know, and it's just some of the things that I like to do. I like to see people become achievers as opposed to finding excuses. You know, oh, well, I can't do this because I'm a felon. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in failure, and I'm not going to let you fail if you're around me.
Right. Do you think that people succumb to the stigma of the second sentence? And how do people navigate around that?
Oh, well, I can't really say how people can, but for me, the second sentence is that's where an individual, upon release, they find themselves doing sometimes twice as bad and with stricter restrictions against them after their release. And that becomes the second sentence there. And one of the ways that I find that I was able to navigate around that was just find something that I like doing and enmesh myself in it, and basically saying, damn what everybody else was doing, trying to do something that's going to change the whole game plan for everybody.
Right. So being a part of a solution.
Right. You know, a solution, or, you know, if you're not part of the solution, as that old saying goes, then you're part of the problem. But sometimes one just needs to just sit back and instead of busy participating in life, sit back, take a few moments and observe what's going on around you. And from that observation, then that's when the little niggling in the back of your mind begins to find a way of how to address that problem.
Right. So you did Ex-Offenders Resource Network, and what came afterwards? I know you've had a series of different things happen since then.
Okay. All right. Well, prior to, Ex-Offenders Resource Network is still going. We just shut the site down temporarily and moved all the components over to our new site, which is called OurTurnSocialMedia.com. And it's the parent name is Our Turn Social Media Network, Inc. But prior to forming that, I was written up in a 13-page article by the United States Department of Justice as one of the only nonprofit organizations in the United States structured and designed to help men and women get back to work after being gone for a lengthy period of time.
Wow, and how many people do you think that you've served over the years?
Since our founding in October of 2013, we've served approximately about 45,000, plus or minus a little bit.
Wow. And would you say that they're what is the demographic makeup of people that you generally see? Because, you know, you hear all this talk about the school to prison pipeline and African Americans being targeted, which is a reality, but are you seeing that in the numbers that are being released and coming for services as well?
It's a mixed bag there, Lucy. We have
we
have whites, we have Latinos, we have natives, and we have a large percentage of blacks, African Americans that come through the services. A lot of times the African Americans that come to us are from the bigger sites who operate on $1 million budgets, and they can't serve the people, and so they direct them toward us. And
I see.
The thing about Ex-Offenders Resource Network is that we don't get any funding. Everything that is done for Ex-Offenders Resource Network, I have funded on my own. So it's like it's not what I intended to do as a life's mission or as my life's goal to help people like that. But we figure it has to start with someone, and someone who's selfless.
And it sounds like it has become a labor of love.
It has been, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I've been busy helping everybody. Now it's time I do something to generate some income that I can end up paying myself after 6 years of helping everyone else. I think I deserve a paycheck too this time.
Right.
And I don't want it to seem like that I'm only in it to make some money, because no, God knows I've been spent tens of thousands of dollars over the last 6 years, to help so many. Right.
So our Turn Social Media Network, it's turning social media on its head and reinventing the landscape of what social media is.
Right.
Can you tell us briefly about that, so we can? There's a couple other points I'd like to make sure we hit, like your foray into politics there, and almost you were nearly elected.
Yes, I was, but we'll get back to that in just a moment. But our Turn Social Media, that actually came to mind in 2017, and I do believe I had that conversation with you, Lucy, right?
Yeah,
when June 3rd, 2017, I says, I'm getting a little bit pissed off with this here privacy issue with social media, with Facebook. I said, why don't I'm sitting here and I'm working on a format and a structure for an entirely new and different social media platform, one that we do not want to barter, sell, or trade your information or data.
But I think the site itself, it has educational opportunities from hundreds of schools. It has employment postings updated regularly. It has a way to connect with other people and the creators, and to really formulate content you want to see, feedback, and a responsiveness that you don't see from other social media sites, plus some streaming services and some other perks.
Right.
And it's free.
Right.
And housing, too. I almost forgot about the housing.
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I have my site open in front of me right now, and in the last couple of days, I've translated it. I have a translation tab up here where our site is now translatable in 103 languages around the world.
Wow, that is amazing.
And so, it has this whole same thing. We have the home tab, and then you have the quick news updates there, and I'm updating it constantly. So everything that happens, I try to get it posted and added, whether I'm away from home or at home, on my phone or my tablet or whatever. I can update and add the news updates. We have, you can add the videos on, your photos, members, invite friends. We have groups created, and the groups that are created right now, there's 8 particular groups, but we invite our members to come on and create as many groups as you'd like. And we have a country music lovers virtual space, and I'm working hopefully with a gentleman based in Canada who has a large country music label that we can help draw in some of the people, country music lovers, to our site as well. We have the nature lovers group, the online study groups. We have the parenting discussion groups, R&B music groups, the International Collective group, which is a group for individuals who speak languages other than English. And then is learning a different language difficult for you. We have the educational programs that we offer are from some of the world's top Ivy League schools all around the world. Harvard, Yale, Georgetown, Boston University, Cornell, the Karolinska Institute in Sweden, the Sorbonne over in Paris, France. You name it. We have an access to all those. Then there's the Massachusetts Institute of Technology with more than 6,000 free courses. Then there's Future Learn, where you can also go on and learn from about another 100 universities and colleges based around the world. Then we have our home affiliate pages, where you can do anything from book an airplane trip, rent a car, rent a hotel. Ladies, you can shop. Men, you can shop for clothing, shoes, jewelry. You want to send a loved one a fruit basket or a flower basket, you can do all that from there.
James, it sounds like it's all inclusive. And I know that you've moved Ex-Offenders Resource Network onto this site as well, so this can be accessed.
Right. Everything can be accessed from one particular location. It's an all-in-one social media everything site. There's really not a name to describe it. We have a partnership with a streaming service that allows live TV to be broadcast from anywhere in the world. For example, in Africa, there's more than 73 countries listed here, and each one has their own television network, and you can watch TV from Africa in any language. It's like you can go to Europe. You can go through the Americas, North America, South America, Central America to watch TVs there. You can watch TV on any Asian channel. You can watch free online television stations, and you can find your live news, entertainment, movies, sports, documentary music channels, and more, and it's all free.
Now, James, our time is running low, but you are an example of turning stigma on its head and proving that when there's a will, there's a way. I want you to briefly tell us about your foray into politics and then round it out with how people can reach you and Ex-Offenders Resource Network so that we can get people connected to the resources that they need to better their lives, better their communities, and even people who are interested in doing something like you're doing and how they get started, I understand that they can reach out to you as well. So why don't you round out our final 6 minutes with that information?
Okay. In 2016, I ran for the office of mayor in the city of Blaine, Minnesota. I was, from my knowledge, the first and only African American to ever run for public office in that area. The idea to run for mayor came when I saw that the current mayor was thinking about stepping down, and so I entered the race and came pretty close to being mayor. And I had some good issues that I was advocating on, and public safety, political reform, the environment, something that involves youth, and seniors, there was just different issues, but it was an experience. I don't think I'll ever run for mayor again or public office, but it was a one-time thing, something that just so I can say that, hey, I did it as an African American and as an ex-offender. I just wanted to see what I could do.
And an agent of change, James. You're an agent of change.
Hey, I try, but
right.
and then but what people can do is they can reach out to us at OurTurnSocialMedia.com.
Right.
And it's a very secure site.
Is there a number people can call? Maybe some people don't do well with the internet. Yes. So is there a number for people?
Yes, they can reach us at 612-756-6297. Once again, their number is 612-756-6297. And
wonderful.
For the same information that they're looking for Ex-Offenders Resource Network, we have it here. And we have the current national partnership with Rent-to-Own Homes. We have jobs here in Minnesota, Canada, globally, and nationally. And you can learn anywhere from up to 40 different.
Are these jobs are these jobs vetted and known for being willing to work with people who are reentering or felons and things like that?
Yes, we have like, for example, Manpower, for example, Manpower has 4,433 offices worldwide, and they will work with felons. That is one of the companies that we work with. But Minnesota, they offer jobs here through Career Force, which was the former Minnesota Workforce Centers. And, so like I say, we have we'll do our best to try to help them find the right fit.
Right. And I know you've been doing it for a number of years for thousands of people, and I know that you have really made it your life's purpose to change the way the world views felons, change the way the African American community interacts with one another, and that how other people interact with African Americans, and that those that have a history.
Yes, we do.
I mean, Blaine. Wow. Almost Mayor of Blaine. That's incredible. And your films. And also, I know you've done a number of films. Where can people find your films?
All right. We will be re-releasing films through Amazon Prime again soon. And then you can also find us on YouTube. Just type in James Whitfield. That's James.
Can you spell that out, please?
Yep.
Yes.
JAMES WHITFIELD. Once again, James Whitfield, JAMES WHITFIELD. And my films will show up there, and you'll be able to follow along with myself, Lucy Bones, Walter Ray Womack, and many others.
So we're down to the 2-minute marker. Are there any final closing thoughts you want to leave to any listeners, the Black community, or anybody in general? And I want to say before you do, thank you so much for being on the show and contributing and being open about your story and sharing all of the wonderful things you are doing to better the community and better the lives of those who are reentering the community.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. But the one thing that I would like to say is I would love to see your listeners register on our site so they can take advantage of many of the wonderful programs that we have to offer them. And if they have a program that they would like to present, we will find a way to build it into the site. And
so you're willing to even include other people's programs or content into the site and embed it in the site so that it's accessible?
Yes.
That's super responsive. That is something unheard of right now in social media.
Right.
That's incredible. Any closing thoughts
why,
for the challenges and successes with reentry?
one thing is just that if you find yourself facing that adversity, just sit back and think of how many lonely times you done sat there and how many false promises that you done had to endure. And trust me, you don't want to relive that again. You know. I mean,
Right.
I've been doing too many and for so long that I never want to go back. And I just stay. I realize I'd much rather be out here struggling than sitting behind prison bars talking about what I had.
Right.
And life goes on.
And that is all.
And
that is all we have today, folks. I'm sorry to cut you off, James. Thank you, dear Black people, beautiful, beloved community. Thank you so much for joining us. James, thank you very much, and we'll see you again next week.
all right.
You're listening to another Perspective Talk Show.
Shadow, radio.
This show is brought to you by Rebirth Radio.